Good morning. Good morning, West Coasters. Good afternoon on the East Coast, and good evening in Europe and Africa and the Middle East. And
Bonsoir.
bonsoir.
So when you ask questions that are more
Less personal.
yeah. So for example, it's not what do I do or what should I do during the zombie apocalypse, but what can we do as humanity during the zombie apocalypse? Something like that. Make it universal. Okay, good.
Yes.
All right. So that's my my funny side. Because this is a Thanksgiving gathering and channeling, it's always about being grateful. And the first thing I'm just going to tell you that I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Renee for being here and helping me with all this process, and grateful to all of you. I hope that the channeling will give you just a little bit more insight in where you are on your spiritual path. And I'm very grateful that even though after 10 or 11 years of doing this, 12 years, I still don't know exactly how it's done, but I'm very grateful that I'm able to do it and to share this with all of you. So that's my gratitude.
Oh, sweetheart, that was beautiful. And we love you, our community, because without you, I mean, everything is about community.
Right.
Yeah, you're never meant to walk this path alone. And we are reminded that all the time from our guides.
The two beings that are going to come through primarily are going to be Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And they're going to keep coming in and out, and they will answer questions that you pose here in the chat.
And today we're going to focus, like I said, as Anthony said, on gratitude, but also because this increasingly comes up from others and in our own lives. How do we offset or sail through those triggers that come up during holiday time with family members and friends and people that we don't always, feel aligned to, or that just trigger us in some ways? How do we manage that?
Every time I go into this state, there's always a sense of like nervousness and excitement and joy that something greater than myself is going to occur. And I want all of you to feel the same thing as well, that something greater is happening when you are going into your own theta brain, opening up to something greater than yourself, because you really are. You're opening up to the all that is, the God or goddess that is.
The God self of you.
That you are.
I mean, sometimes we hear it referred to as like an avatar or an avatar state, but really it's our higher self that has the ability to access everything.
Let's close our eyes. So we're always going to start out with a little bit of meditation. The best way to allow yourself to connect to the all that is to slow down. So we're going to slow down. Slow down your breath a little bit now. And we do that by, if you can, breathe in through your nose and then exhale out of your nose. So we're slowing down our breath.
It's even more effective when we breathe in the same amount of counts that we're breathing out. So if we're breathing in, like 4 counts is a very good count to breathe in through our nose. And then we hold, right? We hold where we're feeling very full at the end of that 4th count. And then we hold for 4 counts and then breathe out for 4 counts. Enjoying the process at the end of feeling empty. So just repeat that pattern in 4 breaths. Enjoy the feeling at the top of feeling full. Full, full, full at the top for 4 counts. And then we breathe out through our nose 4 counts. And at the end, we hold and we enjoy that feeling of feeling empty.
Continue to slow down your breath. You can close your throat just a little bit to create the ujjayi breath to make it even slower. And it's also referred to as the ocean breath. We invite Miriam of Magdal to come into this sacred circle and into our auric fields to be a part of our conversation and healing. And we envision her walking towards us. We invite Yeshua to come into our auric fields to be a part of this sacred circle. And we see him as he walks towards us. Allow the divine feminine and divine masculine to be a part of your fields at this very moment.
In balance, in harmony, the oneness of who we are, realizing that we are the I am consciousness in each and every moment.
I am Yeshua. It's good to be with you again.
It's good to be
Gaia.
Good to be.
Miriam will be here as well.
I hope so.
It is good to see all of you again. I am Yeshua. I am a part of all of you. You are a part of me, and there is no difference between us or amongst us. We are always one together. We make up the consciousness of God or Goddess, Source, universal consciousness. That is who we are. We are one together. But I may individualize myself through all of you if you desire. Miriam may do the same, and any conscious being, any stream of consciousness may do the same. This is a Thanksgiving channeling, a Thanksgiving sermon, a sermon of grace and gratitude.
And also we thought we would talk about managing triggers at the holidays.
Managing triggers.
External things that come into our field that throw us off kilter.
Yes. You mean family members, as you say.
Well, they're not all family members. It could be a boss. It could be a partner. It could be a child.
You have many different ways to handle that. It's up to you. But I have found that being calm, grateful, gracious, non-argumentative is the best way to go. And that is to say, listen. Listen. Listen to others, family members, when they are speaking to you, even if they degrade you a little bit. If they make you feel less than who you are, just listen. Show them your power through grace and gratitude. Literally kill them with kindness. If you say so. Yes, that is correct. It is good to see you again. But calm. If you match their energy, which could be anger and God knows others' energies, then all you're doing is putting yourself into their frequency and vibration. How do you demonstrate to them your Godness, your Christness, your Magdalene-ness? your true spiritual self simply by being the true self, the authentic self that you are.
Yeah, the still point.
The still point. Manifest the qualities that you wish to demonstrate to your family members before actually going there.
Yeah, so we're like visualizing the calm outcome, which was what we did the second time around.
Yes.
This man approached us and everything shifted.
It did, didn't it? He became calm, and because Anthony was calm, you were calm. You see, that's how you do it. Before you do anything, sit, pray, meditate, visualize
the outcome
as it has already occurred, because you know that there is no future, there is no past, and in truth there is no present, there only is. So manifest it. That is a spiritual process. We are spirit first, remember that. Good. And that is grace and gratitude through manifestation and visualization of oneself reacting to a trigger. How do you wish to see yourself react to a trigger? Simply visualize it and it will occur. Are there questions?
There is one question, yes, from Carol. Can you shed more light on the Holy Spirit? How does it relate to our higher self?
Good. Very good question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Would you like to answer first?
Go ahead. The only thing I'll start with.
I knew it.
I know, but you're always so slow. The only thing I would start with saying is that in nearly every, and probably every spiritual tradition across time in the East and the West, there's a trinity of sorts. In Christianity, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
But in every other tradition, there are trinities. And so you could also speak to it as the Holy Spirit's kind of equivalent across traditions and what it means for us in a practical way.
I am demonstrating to you in this very moment grace and gratitude. And how do I do that? You pose a question to me and you ask me a question, but I don't react to it immediately. I sit. I contemplate. Again, if it were a trigger, sit, that is, stand face to face and contemplate before you respond. Show your calmness. The Holy Spirit, the Mother, the Daughter, the Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Christ, Magdalene, the Holy Spirit. What is it exactly? It is a way, one method of returning you back to who you are in this lifetime. One of many ways. The Holy Spirit, you could say, is the breath of God, the breath of Goddess. The Holy Spirit is when you allow yourself the true acceptance of who you are in this lifetime. Breathe it in. When you breathe in the Holy Spirit, you breathe in you. Put your head back. See divinity entering you. Breathe it in. Hold it in. Cleanse each chakra with the divinity of the Holy Spirit. Allow it to purge you, cleanse you, be you, become you again. That is what the Holy Spirit is. It is you.
Your higher self, then.
Yes. Your soul self, authentic self, true self, graceful self, gratitude self, re-emerging as you again.
So, in Carol's question, how to relate to the higher self? It is the higher self, in a way.
The higher self connected to what you call the oversoul.
That was another question, actually.
The oversoul is nothing more than all of it, consciousness together, functioning as one. One from many, many in one. That is the oversoul.
So when Herbie Hancock once told me we have access to the all the time, most people just don't realize it. That oversoul is the unified field, or the collective consciousness of all that we have access to.
Yes, it is the unified field of consciousness that we all have access to, but we have been led to believe, again, through many of our religions and teachings, that we do not have access to it.
Because sometimes people think of the oversoul as our macro soul, like
the big soul.
Yeah.
The big kahuna.
The big kahuna.
The God sitting in his chair with the white beard.
No, I think like our soul that we constantly return to.
Okay.
So in a sense, that's not individualized, it's infinite.
It is an infinite amount of consciousness. Soul, the concept of a soul, is a human concept, not a spiritual one in the realm of consciousness. However, I say to all of you, continue to have that idea, the concept of a soul, because it is good. It is great. It will bring you back to who you are now. This, remember, is the soul. This physicality is spirit manifesting itself as human. The soul itself
is us.
Remember this.
Because we're energy. Remember, we're just energy. So as energy, our soul is always alive and well. It's just the perception of the soul is in physical form in this dimension that we call Earth.
You have a great responsibility to yourself now, knowing that this is spirit, soul. And when others come up to you and trigger you, you will respond as spirit, soul, unity consciousness. That is your responsibility now. With the knowledge that you have acquired, others will not understand, but you do. That is why you're here.
So could you say that the higher self is the collective you self, and the oversoul is the collective consciousness of all that is?
If you wish to put it that way, you can.
Trying to break it down from the question's perspective.
I understand.
In a way that makes sense to our linear minds.
You can think of, again, streams of energy, waveforms if you want, particles coming together to form something unique. It always changes. My energy as Yeshua is combining with Anthony's to form something unique, something new, to enlighten him, you, all of you, to enliven you again, to remember your grace, your gratitude, your peace, your spirit, your higher selves, authentic selves. That's what's occurring at this very moment. Although you may not understand how it actually occurs scientifically, one day you will. You're getting there. You understand. Don't separate your science from your spirituality. That is why we are here as well, Magdalene and me.
Oh, is Holy Spirit the same as prana?
Very good question.
Great question.
When you use your prana, it is also referred to as spirit, spiritus, respiration. Slow down your prana so you may expand into something greater. You and you are all the Holy Spirit. You are the breath.
There you go, Linda.
Of life. Breathing yourselves back into this existence in knowing yourself.
When are we likely to become fifth dimensional?
Fifth dimensional. Fifth dimensional is a state of mind.
Yeah, it's not a place.
No, it is really not a place. It is simply a state of consciousness.
So in a way, we are all fifth dimensional if we believe it.
Is Anthony in a state of fifth dimensionality now?
He's in a state of multidimensionality.
Yes, he is. Don't worry about first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, ad infinitum. Simply be of grace and gratitude, of love. Demonstrate that. And as you demonstrate that, you might say that you expand or you enliven who you are, which creates these different dimensional realities for yourself.
But it's not really a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh thing. I mean, a great example is when we were doing very early channeling and I wanted to know what dimension my grandmother was in because, you know, we were at the beginning stages of learning about all of this. And I was convinced that my grandmother was in a higher dimension than my grandfather. Of course, she had to be, right? And so the guides kind of appeased me, if you remember correctly, and said, well, if we had to put her somewhere, she'd be in the seventh dimension, but that's really not how it works.
I am going to step back.
It was just a way to explain.
And let Magdalene come now.
Okay, Magdalene's going to come.
1 second, please. And she will respond to some other questions in a different way.
Yeah. So, in other words, we're already there if we choose to believe it, if we practice it, if we become it, if we become that. You know, I would take away the number 5 and just say into a multi-dimensional state of reality where we are pure love, and that's what we focus on. And then we're in that place of expanded consciousness.
Good. I am here. I am Mary Magdalene. It's good to see you.
We're talking about the fifth dimension.
You mean the group? Yes, I like that. I am Maria Magdal, or Mary Magdalene. My real name is Miriam, but you can call me Magdala if you will. That's where I was from. I'm going to take over now and answer some of the questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone is asking about the goddess Oshun, the goddess, and her archetype of self-worth.
Love her.
Good. That's why I'm here. I am here to rise, to ascend the feminine energy. So yes, she is a beautiful goddess.
We have her downstairs.
Make sure you connect to her and you will increase your self-worth as well. But it is not through always a goddess or an archetype that you can achieve that.
But if you connect to this goddess, focus on this goddess and bring that frequency in, it's a beautiful energy to work with. You know, I mean, it's really these archetypes working through us, you know, and They're very, very similar across traditions.
They are.
Like Kuan Yin has been likened to Mother Mary. They're very similar. They're focused on compassion. And
I am honored to be in your presence. No, soul, I am honored to be in your presence. And I am honored to be in your presence. Remember who you are as human beings and as women and as men. We honor each other in our own unique way, but I do appreciate the statement of being honored in the presence. Yes, it is a beautiful presence of love.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about that goddess energy, start to work with it because it will literally manifest itself through you. Can you explain more about the common phrase, something greater than ourselves, being inside of us as part of pure consciousness and that it's not outside of us? Great question.
Okay. Why does Gaia, not Gaia, I guess Gaia, you, Anthony, why do you say something greater than yourselves? Because you have forgotten who you are. You believe that you are just this. Anthony, Renee, and all of the individuals that are here, you believe that you are just the one, but you're not. You're so much greater than this, so much more expansive than this. When you understand that you are greater than this, that is when you start to reach what you call enlightenment, and that you are connected to all things. That is what we're trying to tell you. We tried to teach that thousands of years ago as well. Some could understand, some couldn't. I should say most couldn't, actually. That is what we mean, something greater than yourselves. Okay, read this one. Was Mary an alchemist? Was I an alchemist?
Well, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
What does that mean to be an alchemist? That means take everything that you have available to you on this earth plane, put it together, and change it, mutate it. Your crystals, your bowls, incense, whatever it is, combine these elements, frequencies of music, combine these elements, create ceremony around them, through them, and you create alchemy. I was an alchemist. Mary, mother of Yeshua, was an alchemist. You as human beings are alchemists. That is your science. Believe it or not, you create something new from nature. Very good question, soul. Well appreciated.
So here's a great quote from the book that's related to this. Unity with God or source in masculine and feminine balance is the same in its true nature. It is whole and complete. This unity can transform all societies built on division, which is, kind of a segue from Michelle's question about it's not outside of us, it is us. And then this quote too.
Yes.
You're simply accessing the expansiveness of who you are as a soul. So you're tapping into the wealth and depth of knowledge from within and without.
That is true. When you expand into who you truly are, you're able to reach all of these dimensional realities, gather knowledge, receive it, integrate it into who you are, and teach it to others.
And not second guess it.
No.
Not second guess yourself.
But it is a practice. Just as I, Miriam, and Yeshua had to do. We had to practice our spirituality. We had to practice healing together.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
I mean, it's tapping into what resonates and what lights you up, what fills you. If it doesn't fill you with love and light and joy and expansiveness, then, you could say it's from a lower dimension, although there's no lower or higher dimension. It's just not trusting that you're already there to begin with. Is this connecting to the spirits and energies okay to do when you're alone? They're always there.
When you're always alone
in your field, you're never alone.
What does Anthony tell you to do?
Talk to yourself.
Talk to yourself.
Yeshua has told me to talk to myself.
When you talk to yourself, you talk to your soul. This is the soul. But can you do this? Should you do this alone? Yes. Of course. He says to take off your clothes like you were a baby. Put something warm over yourself and lie on the floor. Put candles around you, music and incense, and tell them, come and get me. I'm here. Expand me. See what happens to your body, this perception. Where do you feel it? What are the subtleties that you feel? Where does it occur?
But,
and don't be afraid.
Yeah, to your question, remember what Yeshua had said earlier, nothing can harm us or hurt us unless we believe that's possible.
That is true.
So it doesn't mean don't have discernment, but what it does mean is what you put your intention on and what you focus on comes into your field. So when you're focusing on and connecting to spirits, may it be of love, may it be of source energy, may it be of light, may it be of expanded knowledge from your higher self to serve you at this particular moment.
Yes.
So it's what you focus on and what you intend. So just like the woman that was asking about the goddess ocean, right? It's like you're bringing that frequency into your field because you choose to. You want to know that archetype. You want that archetype to become alive in you. Right? The archetype of Magdalene alive in you is resilience and strength and standing up for what you believe in and speaking your truth. I think I know you quite well.
I think you do. You sound like me. You look like me. Is that a coincidence?
Well, I did curate your book after all, so... you wrote the book, that's right.
You said the narrative to it, didn't you?
Yes.
Please explain the whole that exists before Allah. No. Yes. Maybe. Before Allah, before Deus, before God.
It was mostly a global culture of goddesses and gods.
But what is the whole? The H-O. What is it?
Aho?
I don't know. Is it the Om? Is it the Aum? Is it the...
That's beautiful.
Is it the breath? The prana? The chi?
Or the Om that is
spirit
said to be the sound of the universe.
But
the first sound of the universe.
Yes, perhaps.
The breath.
But is it before Allah? Or is it Allah?
You know what I love that, women, the divine feminine is coming forth with so many variations on the male God story, right? And Jude Currivan is a famous British cosmologist and physicist in her background and so forth. And instead of calling it the Big Bang, right, which is so masculine, right, release, the Big Bang, she calls it the Big Breath.
The Big Ho.
The Big Ho, the breath that came before her, the manifestation of humanity.
I haven't finished answering my question or the question yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I know you're excited.
I am excited. I love this topic.
Now, before Allah, before God, there is no before Allah. There is no after Allah. There simply is. All things are of Allah. All things are of God. It simply exists. You wish to think that there is something that comes before and after, but there isn't. All things are of Allah. Is nothing more than the breath of Allah that breathes life into all things. It is universal consciousness coming together. You are on your own unique path. Continue that and find the divinity in the whole of all things. Very good question.
So do you mean as we raise our consciousness, we can access other aspects of ourselves and communicate with them?
Yes. You don't really raise consciousness, but it's a good way of putting it. You simply energize your consciousness a little bit more. You already have everything available to you. Just energize it. Practice it in your own unique way. But yes, that is what I mean. Very smart individuals, aren't they? Highly intelligent.
Well, she also adds this to we each have 11 other aspects or parts of us now.
You have the infinite amount of parts of who you are. Tap into as many as you desire. It is up to you.
I think as human beings, we become fixated on polarities and numbers, right?
Yes.
Because we read that there's 12 spectrums of light, or there's, the magic number of 12, right? The apostles are 12, or the Trinity is 3. And so I think we do get fixated on numbers, but you do tell us that numerology matters because there's...
Numerology matters because it's another path of achieving your
expanded consciousness.
Yes, your enlightenment. That's why it's important.
Yeah.
All of these paths are good. Choose one or choose many. It is up to you to decide how you wish to understand yourself.
Think about it this way. Whatever you give meaning to expands in its meaning, right? So when we, at one time, when humanity thousands of years ago gave credence to oxygen, to breath, to praying, to meditating, to goddesses, their consciousness was bigger, brighter, right? It was like certainly in Roman times. And since, at least in the Abrahamic religions, we've given less credence, less oxygen to it, the monotheistic male God grew in importance, grew in energy, grew in credence, right? So whatever we fixate on grows in consciousness.
When you raise your consciousness, and I will say simply raise your consciousness, you are able to communicate with all aspects of yourself. All aspects of yourself are your ancestors. All aspects of yourselves are angelic energies. All aspects of yourselves are earth energies.
Or goddess energies.
Goddess energies. God energies. What other energy exists? Aha.
The elementals.
Elemental energies. And dare I say, extraterrestrial energies. Do you understand?
They all exist in our consciousness. So what we focus on is what we bring into our field and what we choose to work with. But we have access to all of it. So a lot of times, right, who's here? I'm trying to think who's still here. I guess Michelle's still here somewhere. But during her first darshan, I believe I have to, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, we do these like Kundalini darshan activations, and the energy that came through for her was the Divine Mother, I believe, or Mother Mary. Maybe it was Mother Mary. And over time it changes, because it doesn't mean that we still can't work with that energy or we don't resonate with that energy. But as we expand the field of consciousness, more is able to come in and be integrated. That's why everything's always changing.
Very well said, Gaia. That is true.
Yeah.
You're always changing. That is why
always changing.
During your darshans, energies that once came to you before change into something different to make you more expansive.
So like
I suppose.
With Asha, hopefully I can use you as an example, right? This one goddess energy came through to you. It was almost as a way to waken up that archetype and that aspect of yourself. It was the same goddess who came to us early on, actually. And she's a pretty cool goddess. Anthony still has her in his office.
Which one is that?
Morgu.
Oh, yes. That one.
But it's an archetype that we can work with and that we always have access to. It's like, it's like we use this analogy in the book and we use it a lot, but I love the analogy because it's such a good one to explain the soul, that this is the soul. In each aspect, this is Ocean, this is Morgan, this is Mother Mary, this is Kuan Yin. They're all here. And we're all of it.
Hair.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
But what resonates the most is what's going to speak through you first to awaken more of yourself. And then, like, the more that you keep awakening, right? This idea of Kundalini awakening, the more that you light up and waken up, it's like, oh my God, I can pull in Kuan Yin, I can pull in whatever aspect of humanity you wish at any time.
Yes.
It's so cool. It's like the cloud, the information in the cloud, except you don't need an internet connection to do it. It's always available, always accessible to you.
Just know its frequency, and you will know the vibration in which it exists.
Yeah, and that comes with practice.
Very good.
I love these questions. They're so cool.
It says there are 7 laws of the universe. Which are the laws of the spirit world? Ah, very good question. 7 laws. Spirit does not have laws. Human beings have laws. Human beings create laws, but spirit does not have laws. That is the first thing I wish to say to all of you. If you believe that there are 7 laws of the universe, then 7 laws of the universe exist. You see, you as human beings are rediscovering through your science the quote laws of the universe. But in truth, no laws exist. But you must discover them in order to realize who you are in this lifetime.
Because you realize at the moment of discovering them what we have created and manifested in the human plane.
I know that your scientists will say that's a bunch of mumble jumble spiritual jargon. And it seems that way. And it appears that way. But in a quantum universe, there really are no laws. I should say, really no laws. There are no laws. There only is. That which is, is. Bring attention to it, observe it, and you create it. If that might be a law, then say that is a law.
That's why intention
That's all it is.
matters so much. When you're working with something, the practice of tapping into and accessing the frequency, that's why that matters so much, because you're bringing it into your field.
True.
You have to finish the question, though. You can't jump to it.
I did finish the question. There really are no laws. But as human beings, you continue discovering laws that govern your universe so that you can understand who you are as consciousness. That's how you as human beings, learn and acquire knowledge. And the more knowledge you acquire, the more you energize your consciousness. It's happening little by little. But very good question, soul, if I may say so.
It doesn't need to make logical sense. It just needs to resonate.
Yes, that is true.
So feel it rather than think it. So Sandra, you're looking up. Catch yourself when you're looking up, because when you're looking up, it means you're going to your mind spot, your mind place. The moment you go to your mind place, you're in your head, not in your heart. So it's a practice. And a good way to do that is in front of the mirror. And the moment you catch yourself looking up and it's like, I'm going to try to figure this out. But the thing is, the more we try to figure it out, I call it analysis paralysis. I think I even own the domain. It's kind of what happens when we try to figure something out over and over and over again, and then we go down another rabbit hole. So we have to feel into it.
It sounds chaotic without laws in the spiritual world. Laugh out loud. Isn't the physics affect the spiritual realm? Beautiful question. Do the physics affect the spiritual realm? Yes and no. The physics, the quantum aspect of who you are, affects you. You are spirit. You perceive yourself as physical. So does it affect the spiritual realm? Yes and no. Because you are the spirit. And it is affecting you in a way that is allowing you to think, ponder, reflect on something greater.
But we're creating our reality in each and every moment.
Yes.
Literally each and every moment.
But is it chaos? Yes, it is, but in the most beautiful of ways. Isn't that wonderful?
That's good.
Yes. Who says that chaos has to be or needs laws? I don't. I don't need any laws. I am of the spiritual realm as well.
Well, I do think it's interesting that, like, so for example, for opposites, right? So we've always said that Metatron is about sacred geometry of the universe, and Sandalphon is that grounding polar opposite of the Metatron energy, which grounds the energy into Gaia. So there is kind of a yin-yang balance, if you want to call that a law.
If you want to say there is a yin and a yang, you can say that. You can say that there is a positive energy and a negative energy. You can say that. You can also say that there is right and left, high and low, within, without. You can say that as well as a way to increase your energy or your consciousness of knowing who you truly are in this lifetime. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But when the two become one and you understand the one, you're going to see the awesomeness of who you truly are in this lifetime, and you may be scared. You may be scared to find out that you are nothing and you are everything all at the same time. And that you are multidimensional beings living a multiverse, having multidimensional experiences all at the same time. Now that's a little bit hard to understand.
This is a good kind of example. So in the book, the characters are having a conversation with Lazarus, because they're trying to figure out, how did you heal Lazarus? How did Yeshua heal Lazarus? Like, how did that happen scientifically? And so your brother,
yes,
in your life 2,000 years ago, he says, let me respond with a quantum understanding, which is what you're talking about. Both energy fields must be equal to each other, and the frequencies must match identically for it to be successful in the way that it occurred during my lifetime as Lazarus. It is a frequency and vibrational match between two energy fields, and they must be aligned. The energy field of a human being is like that of a tuning fork. When you play your crystal bowls, you create vibrational frequencies that match ours. When this connection takes place, Angelo, or Anthony, is able to bring those frequencies and vibrations into your dimension, including our energies, but it must be an exact match. That's how Lazarus explains what's happening here. And bringing in the Yeshua energy is what Anthony's aligned with and resonates with.
But human beings have been led to believe that this is blasphemous, that it is evil to do that. It's simply a way of keeping you away from who you truly are in this lifetime. That's all it is. But I'm going to tell all of you, align your frequencies with whomever you desire and bring it into your auric field and feel energy in a different way. Be aligned. Be aligned with the goddess that you are. Be aligned with the God that you are. Be aligned with the spirit that you are. And it will come to you. And teach others how to do that.
And yours and Yeshua's energy are two frequencies that resonate, correlate and align with the Christ consciousness of love.
That is Anthony's energy and your energy.
Right.
That is why we are here. But it may not be your energy or your energy.
We just came from, a devotional bhakti yoga retreat in Hawaii, and it was very much about Shakti and Shiva there.
That's right.
Right. But it's similar, right? They're different frequencies, but they represent something similar. They represent the masculine of Yeshua, the feminine of Magdalene, coming together as one to know itself again. What is the reason or purpose for soul's aspect of the all to incarnate? Is it just to experience, learn, and contribute, or is there more to it?
Terry, Renee, Florence, all of you, beings incarnate. I understand the word. Why do you come into this vibration? You come to experience. And through that experience, you're coming here, you're manifesting yourselves in order to experience yourself again.
In a different way.
Whole unique way.
Yeah.
And if you wish to teach, then do so. And tell others the same thing that you are experiencing. Be a prophet. Be a spiritual leader. Be a teacher. Help humanity in some way expand itself, become better. That's why you're here. You're here to experience love in a different way. Excuse me. That's why you're here. Very good question.
Yeah. And so if you don't see yourself as a teacher in the traditional sense, think of this. You have a family member that, or a friend who might be close to death or perception of death. And you can be there to hold their hand and be present with them and let them know not to fear, because we are infinite beings. That's being a teacher. How do we know when we're being called to rest versus we're just in resistance or procrastinating?
Very good question too. Sit and rest. Sit.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about the pagan traditions, which really pagan traditions are all of our traditions, because all of our ancestors, regardless of where we hail from, were indigenous at one point, right? Lived off the land. And so we honored the land, we honored the seasons. And I think honoring the seasons and knowing when to ebb and flow and rest and be active is part of that.
That is true. Go with your seasons if you wish. Create altars according to your seasons. Celebrate the seasons. Know when to go deeper in, know when to rest, and know when to expand. I believe during the season of Yule, Samhain, the fall and the winter, the days grow a bit shorter, gives you more time to go within yourself, sit and contemplate. Rest, if you will. Rest.
You'll know.
You will know.
You will know, because how you know is when you know you're ready to go outward, there's an excitement, there's a glee, there's like, I can't wait to share this, versus uncertainty. When you're in that uncertain place, right? That's when you need to go within and listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart, listen to yourself, sit and ask yourself the question, is it time for me to rest, or do I need to go outward? And listen, what should I do?
Yeah, feel with your body.
Yes.
Not your mind, right? Feel with, what is your body telling you? The body knows.
And the body is spirit.
And the heart knows.
Yes.
The heart knows the most, right? What does your heart say? The heart will tell you. It'll be shouting. I was trying to figure out how to stop anxiety and self-judgment, to let go of people who no longer resonate without guilt. Oh, that question is for all of us.
The more you open up to who you are in this lifetime, you will feel guilty. You're going to feel guilt because there are going to be others that don't resonate with you anymore. Family members, friends, acquaintances, husbands, wives. They will not understand you, and they will leave you, or you may have to leave them. That is what this journey is all about. It's not an easy one, but it is a beautiful and expanding journey if you desire to take this mission. And when you feel that, you know that you are here for a reason. And sometimes it can be sad and it can be scary, but we have community here. That is why we are here. Miriam, myself, Yeshua, and all of you. because we are in community together helping each other, to say that everything will be okay and don't worry.
Because everything's temporary. So the guilt or the pain or really, it's grief also.
Let go of it all, because it really doesn't serve any of you on this journey. When you can let go of it, the sin, the guilt, I wasn't good enough, I'm not good enough, let go of it all. That is when grace, gratitude, and thanksgiving come in and replace it as all. It replaces it with simply love.
But I should add in the human plane, because
I know.
So for example, how many times have we all gone through, I don't know. We were both married to other people before we were together. We had to go through divorce. All of us have had to go through, whether it's divorce or maybe the loss of a child, the loss of a friend, the loss of a parent. We've all experienced grief of some sort. And so I think we need to honor that process.
Yes.
Because that's human. It's human for us to go through it. But how many times have we gone through it and then we've looked back and said, I needed to go through that journey because I became, to Michelle's language earlier, I became something greater. I understood things in a different way. I was more expansive of how I could deal with a tragedy or a situation or a person. And we've come out on the other side stronger. We needed to go through that experience. And so I think we need to allow ourselves to have that experience.
Yes, it is a very good experience.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it feels painful, but when we come through it, there's kind of a sense of freedom.
Yes.
Because we're honoring our true authentic selves when we go into that place of.
But it is not necessary to continue to repeat over and over and over and over and over again
The patterns
of guilt, deception, grief. You can, if you wish to have that experience. Remember, you create your heaven and you create your hell.
And also
you decide.
Yeah, and I think it's useful to ask, what is this situation or this person here to teach me?
That is right. All souls, all energies communicate with each other in order to assist each other on a unique experience.
And sometimes a person who may seem very ill-aligned with us may actually be in our soul family here to teach us to step into something greater.
They are. They're called your family members. You may not see it that way. They're here to trigger you in ways you don't understand. They're trying to ask you and show you, who are you really? Let's trigger you and see who you really are. That's why I'm here, to trigger you during the holidays, to see if you know yourself. Know thyself, know thy goddess, and all will be okay. There will be no triggers because you know who you are. I am Miriam of Magdal, and it is an honor and privilege to be with all of you, high light beings. I'm going to quote, step back. Remember who you are, all of you. Remember the love that you are, and that whatever you think, you will manifest in your lives. We as human beings are manifesting beings. We as spirit are manifesting beings. Manifest love, joy, grace, gratitude, thanksgiving, all of the beautiful things. And all of these things will come to you. It is always an honor and privilege to be with all of you. Stay in grace and gratitude, in peace, and above all, love. And these are the essences that you will become again. Actually, you already are. I'm only here to remind you of that.
And with that,
Om Shanti Shanti Om Hari Om.
Yeah. Blessings for the rest of the Thanksgiving weekend, and hopefully we'll see you in December.
Back to work again tomorrow.
We love you.
We love you all.
We love you tons.